Most people take me as a joke because they are a joke. You know, the whole world's inverted on reverse psychology and can only use their 5 senses, mentally, psychologically with a high IQ. That only makes them good at what they do. But everyone's so negative in this world and consumes too much. So much that our biological genes are falling apart and hereditary into our kids. Mental disorders and DNA defects going through the roof in our biology. And you still live in your own comfort zone, in your own truth, in some kind of narrative that you live in with your perception. Let me tell you something. Do you think it's a joke? You think the post-human stage is a joke? Warned in Revelation, declared in documents since 1999, you didn't wake up then. You still haven't woke up. Let me tell you something. Don't you in the looking glass that saw the future? I've seen the future. I know the future. You don't believe in it. That's what the problem is. You don't believe in nothing but your own truth, in your own little narrative, in your comfort zone. You can't change. We can no longer change mankind from the way he thinks. He doesn't give a shit. Immoral, unethical, incompetent human beings all over the earth. Godless, immoral creatures that just consume too much with their egotism. And that's all they do, capitalize on their egotism. The Babylonian beasts all over the world. That's right, that's you. I'm talking to you right now. You don't like it? Bad luck. You had your opportunity, didn't you? But you didn't want to change, right? You all think you're going to save the world or you don't give a shit. One of the two. Selfish, egotistical, immoral, unethical, incompetent human beings all over the earth. 99% of you that think you're going to save the world, you can't even change your own life, man. You can't even change the way you consume and the way you think and the way you judge. You don't think God knows that you're all immoral, godless creatures? Remember Noah, the days of Noah? Well, you all got wiped out and you're getting wiped out again, buddy. Well over 7 billion will be wiped out between now and 247. You don't believe in that? You don't believe in that? No, you don't, do you? You think you're going to save the world and everything's going to be okay? Because you're political, you're religious, which are political, persecute one another, judgmental egotism, I'm better than everyone, conquer, debate and divide. Immoral, unethical, incompetent post-humans. You declared in post-human stage the last human being born on earth was in 1960 in the outback of Australia. You can think instinctively with their natural massacres. And believe me, they're the only human beings on earth that's going to be saved. The ones that dedicate their life to change things, to save the planet, to save Mother Earth, to save their own biological genes with their natural genetic massacres, those that goes back in the image they're created in. To use their natural genetic massacres, not to use their psychological, mental egotism behavior. 99% of people live in climate denial reports. 99% live in massive denials. The biggest delusional communication breakdown in human history. You know, Havana syndrome, zombie virus, body snatchers, right? Mental conditions all over the world. Everybody takes drugs and numb themselves so they can't cope and lie about it. And lie about it. Lies all over the world. Can't live in the truth. Can't handle the truth. Can't face it. I've seen your future, buddy. And let me tell you something. There's only been a few people selected here. And it's not you. Don't think for 1 minute it's you. Don't think for 1 minute it's you. Godless, immoral, Babylonian beasts all over the world. It'll be the people in the streets that are instinctive they'll be saved, the ones that suffer the consequences and live on $2 a day, while you live in your capitalism and your egotism all over the world. That's right. Babylonians who cannot change and will not change, all pretend to be human, sitting on social media platforms all over the world to make a name for themselves on a marketing strategy to be competitive and to put themselves on a pedestal to think they know better than everyone else. But God knows exactly who we are, and so do I. I was designed for this moment with the most powerful evidence ever recorded in modern history. I am the witness. And I'm here to tell you right now with your final warning. Right? With your final warning. You are told in the Bible, you throw stones at me, you will be devoured. And you will be. Every human being that turns to me in the world will be devoured. That's not negotiable. It never was. You can't just manipulate your own truth and live in your own truth and keep twisting the perfect truth to suit yourself in your own little comfort zone and then normalise this behaviour. To normalise what was immoral yesterday non-stop. We know who you are. Believe me, I know your future. I know your past. And I know 99.9% you can't change nothing. You just pretend you can. But those who dedicated themselves to change life and to change their biological state, to think instinctively and to think outside the mind spiritually, with their natural organic motor skills, they will have the power when their principalities in the right place, and the rest will go into massive extinction and get stuck in a reincarnation trap and wish they were dead for 1,000 years. That's why the Bible tells you that. So you can go ahead and think and think and think and judge all you like, but you can only use 7% of your mind with the front cortex that's exploded out of control with your high IQ. Egotism, self-centered behavior, consume too much. You know how many people slaves to feed your system and to feed your fat big gob and your big mouth? Huh? You put people in slavery every day. You feed the slavery system every single day of your life. Capitalist pigs, animals, who doesn't care about nothing but themselves. Nothing but themselves. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. Let me tell you something. From 225 onwards, you're going into a massive catalysm event. By 227, you'll know, right? And the wrath of God will hit in 229 and destroy half the world. I can guarantee you that. The wrath of God will hit in 229 and will destroy more than 50% of the human population in one go. And the rest of you, when you've got your back up against the wall with nothing else to lose, what do you think you're going to do? When you can't stand in your own 2 feet in your own sovereignty and you can't fend for yourself. Why do you think the military built more than 1,450 bunkers to go underground? Why do you think they're moving 600 tonne of food in a day right now? Why do you think 11,000 top scientists in the world's gone underground right now? Huh? Why do you think they're doing that? Are you awake? Yeah? You're full of shit. You're full of BS. And that's all that comes out of your mouth. Nothing but BS. Well, I'm telling you right now, people are losing their natural gaining motor skills all over the world and going into zombie viruses all over the world. With Havana syndromes, they're losing their vertigo. They're losing their power. Because the God-given power that God gave you is being taken away from you, you idiots. He told you he's going to send you the biggest delusion you've ever dealt with in your life. And you don't know the truth because you can't even live in it. You live in your own truth, in your own little bubble in a comfort zone. You can't handle the truth, you can't face it, you can't even deal with it. That's why you can't change the way you think, and you can't change the way you judge, and you can't change the way you consume too much. And 99% of your Hollywood characters, that's all you are, personalities. 93% declared in documents to be not human by their bodies. They're not humans anymore. And they're the ones that can be wiped out, which is the whole Babylonian Western civilization. I can absolutely guarantee you that. Just like the days of Noah, you'll all be wiped out again. But this time, you're going to wish you were dead for 1,000 years. You don't believe in that? Mark my word. People are going in the reincarnation trap now all over the world and getting stuck and wishing they were dead. We're hearing that in the AI systems. We're hearing that from people in the streets stuck in a reincarnation trap already. So judgment's already been fallen, man. You don't believe in that? You have no idea what's coming down on your head. You'll be suffering the consequences. And you're going to wish you were dead. Because you didn't listen, did you? No, because you all know better, right? You all know better. Well, there's no one like me on earth, I can guarantee you that. Not one human being on earth like me. I left my mark on earth for 60 years. I was designed for this moment. I was dedicated for the moment. I came here, right, for a reason. Right, for a reason. Right? And it's to save the real people here. Real people. The ones that dedicate themselves to go back in the promise and image they're created in. Those that don't are not going to make it. And I don't care what you think. Your action speaks loud words. Right? Doesn't matter what you think because your mind plays tricks and games on you and you become your own worst enemy. And today, that's exactly who you are. Right? Your own worst enemy because the devil's in your mind possessing you all the time. And you believe you're talking to yourself? You're a moron. That's your forefather. That's your God. The voice in your mind and your selfish egotistic behavior, that's who you are. You are your own God. And your God is the outside influence your reality that's going to control you for 1,000 years. And you're going to wish you were dead. You're going to wish you listened to me. But you didn't. Are you ready? Are you ready for the moment that's coming? It's on every document in the whole world. FEMA camps all over the world with body bags, body coffins. Every document tells you in 227 you're going to a massive catalysm event. That's why Trump brought in Agenda 247. That's why WF brought in Agenda 247. 247. Okay, you were given a countdown on the New York climate clock from 220 to 227, the 7-year countdown, to change the way you think. But you didn't care. You haven't changed a goddamn thing. Not one of you have changed anything. You just pretend you have. But we can see that by the action that you put out. Right? And you're a spineless, weak coward. And when your spine don't work, that's Jacob's ladder. That's a Neuralink. That's a tree of life inside you with a chakra. Survival mode. Your gut feeling. That activates the molecules to preserve life. And you can't preserve life. You can't even preserve yourself. You can't even preserve your family, lovers and friends and a real relationship because you know nothing about a relationship. Nothing. Don't tell me you know about a relationship and you know about loyalty, honor, respect, moral, roots, inspiration, encouragement. You wouldn't have a clue. You can't even keep your family, lovers and friends together. You conquer, debate and vibe with them all day long. Don't you? Yeah, with your egotism set in front of social media platform to think you're something special in the world. I can guarantee you, every freedom fighter sitting on a social media platform every day will not be saved. So the likes of all your freedom fighters all over the world, if you think they're going to be saved, God knows who they are. They're weak, spineless cowards, right, who doesn't help those that suffer whatsoever. They don't stop the marketing strategy and they don't stop consuming nothing. All they care about is themselves. Well, I'm telling you, this is it. You can't manipulate the truth to suit yourself and live in some massive bubble. 99% of you live in a massive bubble in your own delusion behavior. Manifestation, lies all the time. Social media platform, Hollywood spinners, American dreamers. That's right. The Babylonian capitalist pigs that capitalize on their own egotism. Live in a bubble in their own truth. God knows. God knows there's a human being here and a real man in that image to stand in the image that he's created in, to fight tooth and nail against the evil system, to fight tooth and nail against Babylon and the beast. But you support the beast every day of your life. You don't believe in that? What are you, brain dead? Are you completely brain dead? Because I know you are. You're in a massive delusional state. Only the elect will not be deceived, and only the witness will teach the resurrection. And guess what? You haven't given a shit. The world transformation movement is the elect. With Jeremy Givens, the bowlers, the biggest bowlers in the world today, who wrote the book Freedom, the Cure of the Human Condition. And guess what? You couldn't give a shit because you're thinking of everything from a little bit of information and fact check Google yourself like a robot. You're already zombies. You're already robots and zombies. You were told that in the Matrix movie in 1999 documentary. Those that think instinctively will tune out of the program, and it's not you, is it? Because you can't think instinctively. You can only think mentally and psychologically, like an egotistical spastic and a retard. And you can only use 7% of your mind. We create the miracles. We bring people back to life. We die and come back because we know how to beat the reincarnation trap. We're not stuck on amnesia like you are. Do you know who you are? Do you know where you come from? Do you know what the meaning of life is? No, you don't. Nor does any of your scholars. Nor does any of your professors. Nor does any of your scientists. Nor does any of your bureaucratic system. And nor does anyone that you follow. You want to tell me you're reborn, chosen by God? You're a fucking liar. You're told I'll come with fire out of my mouth and I'll come in raggedy clothes and I'll be an old man of renowned Muslim knowledge and I'll write the book that unfolds with evidence perfectly that you cannot debunk. I will leave my mark on earth, and believe me, there's no motherfucker on earth that left a mark on earth like I did. In 1996, we had the highest death toll, gang killing and drug deaths across Australia, and the most domestic violence in the country in 1996. And domestic violence caused a marketing strategy where they take children off their kids. Kids off the parents. And you know what happens to them? They go in homes and get raped and bashed. The Royal Commission Australia in 2000 paid out more than 50% of people in jail and prostitutes were being raped and bashed for the marketing strategy. Because they charge you 4 times more tax to do that. That's the marketing strategy. So I come along here and take care of the 7 most powerful networks and reverse their plan. The filthy scumbags and those statistics drop to the lowest in 30 years and 4 years. So you can see what the marketing strategy does here. And you can see what you support every day of life. You filthy, dirty scumbags. Let me tell you something. It's over. Right? It's over. Right? 227, you're going to a massive catalysm event. It's over by 227 until the 27th September on the New York Climate Club. That's your D-Day. That's your judgment. That's your end. And it takes 7 years to go back in Primal State to think instinctively, to master your mind, so your mind's not being mastered by the devil, right? And the voices in your mind. And you're mastered by the voice in your mind. You're mastered by the devil. You're stuck in a reincarnation trap and you've never woken up from amnesia. And believe me, right, all the Babylonian Western civilization, right, it is the 5th time they get wiped out. The 5th time they get wiped out, they're stupid idiots. The 6th mass extinction, where you strip from the 6th sense for the 6th time, right? And 27 stands for the Holy Spirit. 227's your end date. Look at the New York Climate Club, the most important number on the planet, with a 7-year countdown. Every document's been placed into society. And you're still looking for dates from the Bibles, from all those dickheads that persecute one another, 12 types of Christianity, and Christianity's about having a relationship and you know nothing about it. Nothing about it. You were warned. You didn't listen. What if I told you before, but you didn't listen? That's what they say in the Matrix, to get through your thick skull. But no one can get your thick skull, can they? That's what you're told in Revelation. The devil will be in your mind, and you is trapped inside your mind, and you're trapped in your mind with a high IQ. You cannot think instinctively. You cannot think outside the mind dimensionally. The light bulb idea, the vision that tells you 1,000 words, you can't see it. There's no vision and dreams for you, is there? There's only psychological behavior with spirits inside your mind that tells you what to do all the time. So when you think critically, and a voice tells you to do it, and the other one tells you not to, they can't even give you a straight answer, can they? Because it's only personality. You know why? Because you only use your own personality. With egotism, capitalism and egotism and atheism, socialism, fascism and communism. That's right. You're nothing but capitalist fucking little monsters. Godly small creatures consuming like Pac-Man all over the board. Today you consume 7 times more than 45 years ago, and you were warned then. Right? You were warned non-stop for 24 years. You've been warned that dramatically. You didn't give a shit. In the last 3.5 years alone, consumption's gone up 3 times. Mental disorders gone up 7 times. Okay? Our youth's gone up in mental disorders 36% all over the world in 12 fucking months. So we can see how you take care of the system. You can see how you support things, and you don't stand up. You're the spineless weak counts. It's all full of talk and words and no action. And God knows that. He's not a fucking moron. You are.